Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to an unscheduled live with CrimeTime with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Today, the director of the FBI, Kash Patel, released video and photos of a perpetrator, the perpetrator that was at Nancy Guthrie's home on the night of her disappearance. Yes, the Nest video doorbell camera, unbeknownst to a lot of people, even if you do not have the monthly subscription, records up to an hour of video and footage. Up to an hour of internal video is on that device. And they have two other devices in the backyard. Ed, your thoughts on what we just heard about an hour and a half ago?
Well, I'm very happy that this breakthrough has occurred. I was praying for such a breakthrough, and I said yesterday on yesterday's show that hopefully, seizing the cameras, they were able to obtain maybe a SIM card or something that was inside the camera, or SD card that was able to gather some data, and lo and behold, they were able to get that information, but from the back end of the information. So great work. There's a lot of forensics that can be utilized now from these images to try to help identify who this individual is. So if we want to get into that, we can get into it now. If you want to say something else, we'll jump into it later.
We're going to get into it in a minute. What is fantastic about this new video and the look that we have of this perpetrator, the subject? We don't even call him a suspect. This is the guy. This is the subject. And if there is more than one, we'll know about it in the near future. But what's great about this is you get to see his gait, the way he walks, his height, the eyebrows were showing, the mustache, as we talked about. But let's listen to the breaking news from our good friend Brian Enton at News Nation.
We continue following breaking news out of Tucson, Arizona. The FBI just releasing both a series of photos along with a video of what they are calling a potential subject in the Nancy Guthrie case. Not suspect, subject. Let's get right out to senior national correspondent Brian Enton, who is in the Tucson area for us, joins us live on the phone. Brian, this seems to be a really big deal here.
Yeah, I mean, this is massive. This is the biggest development that we have had since this case broke open, now that we have these photos. And I mean, they're terrifying, Nicole. When they said they were going to release a surveillance photo, I was thinking maybe something from a gas station or something like that. I had no idea that they were going to be able to get the photos and video off of the Ring camera, the Nest camera, I'm sorry, which apparently through back-end ways, Kash Patel tweeted out that they were able to work with Nest and recover these photos. You see that the guy...
I just want to add in, I went straight to the Nest's website to get the information, and it says, yes, our Google Nest video doorbells possess limited internal memory, allowing them to record and store up to 1 hour of events on the video locally if your power or Wi-Fi goes out. So it's got battery backup, some of it, or if your Wi-Fi goes out. So this is great news. It does not get stored in a cloud, which we knew, but it gets stored on the device. Now, if these perpetrators would have taken that device, Ed, we wouldn't have this. So we talked about perps making mistakes. That was a mistake, that they left that device there, and they were able to forensically scrub it and get that information from it.
Yes, 100%. And it's going to lead to his capture, because there's so much information embedded in these images, in these videos, that we could use to help identify who this person is.
Remember, we're only seeing a clip here. They have up to an hour worth of video. They were in that house for 41 minutes. Was the exit, was the removal of Nancy Guthrie on that camera? That's what, a lot of it is unclear. Did he take it down shortly after this video? Is that why they clipped it? But we're just seeing a small piece. This, I have screen number 3 up here. This I'll share with the audience later on. An hour, up to an hour worth of footage. So that's tremendous. Let's take a listen to the rest of this.
Is totally covered from head to toe. He's in a mask. He's got gloves on. Clearly, it seems like this was a professional who knew exactly what they were doing. You can see what appears to be a gun and a concealed holster near the waist. And just now, Savannah Guthrie has posted on Instagram these photos. And she also said, "We believe our mother is still alive." And honestly, that's the first thing I thought when I saw these. I mean, it looks so professional. When we were starting to sort of discount the kidnapping ransom theory, then you see these photos, and it seems to almost back that up now.
Ron?
This may have been
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to disagree with our friend there. I don't believe this is professional at all.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
I think this is amateurish. Okay. Yeah. First of all, he's got a holster designed for a revolver that he's got a semi-automatic weapon in, and it's in front of his pants. Okay. And it's dangling. It's causing him problems. Okay. He has multiple pairs of gloves on. If he had to use that gun, it might be a little bit difficult there. And it's also difficult to manipulate the tools or anything of that to that effect. He goes out and pulls shrubbery to kind of cover the camera.
Yeah.
Okay. These are not professional aspects of a home invasion, robbery, or burglary, or kidnapper. Okay. So I'm going to have to disagree with our good friend Brian about professionalism here. That said, if you want to continue, I'll jump back into the forensics later.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'm just playing it back because it is ridiculous the way he's carrying that firearm. It looks like a semi-auto in a revolver holster or a long. That's not the holster for that weapon. It looks like some type of semi-auto weapon. But yeah, look, this is not professional by any means. We look at this. This guy's got that backpack on. What is inside that backpack? Is there clothing? Is there a tarp in there?
It didn't even seem like he attempted to tear off that camera immediately. I mean, that's and why would you approach it head on? Is there no other way to approach that camera from the side so that you're not getting all this information here?
Yeah. Again, up to an hour's worth of recording. It would be interesting to see. I know that we won't be privy. They won't share with us a lot of this stuff. But here, you got a full view of that circular driveway, right where my cursor is here, right? He goes over here, and Brian Enton in that report, the reason I want to play it all is that when he says, when he came up, remember we talked about him coming up and taking those pictures the next day after they released the crime scene? He said that parts of, I guess there is maybe a section over there as you walk up to the left, some bush or, whatever he picked up there, I don't know. But Brian said, yeah, we saw it. We saw parts of that on the patio. Listen to what he says in this thing. Well, I'm going to let the rest of the whole thing play. But let's go back here and take a peek at, this is, Ed, you called it 100%. This is amateur hour right here. This is not a pro by any means.
Releasing both a series of photos along with a video of what they are calling a potential subject in the Nancy Guthrie case. Not suspect, subject. Let's get right out to senior.
Piece of weeds and brush that he picked up was actually still on the ground. I remember seeing it when.
Right there. I mean, I didn't know exactly where it was in the video, but here it is. Brian Enton describing he saw those weeds or that brush that he was pulling up to try to shelter his face or his body from the camera. I mean, this is stupid criminal 101 in our books, right? Right, Wallace?
Yep.
He picked up was actually still on the ground. I remember seeing it when we went up to the door and got video of the blood.
Oh, that is really interesting. So, Brian, as of right now, the sheriff is saying that there will be no press conferences. And as I was just speaking with the former FBI agent before you here, we saw numerous press conferences at the beginning of this case in the first few days when Nancy, really interesting.
We went up to
And I want to go back to the way he walks up and walks down. I know we want to talk about forensics a little bit here, but the blood, if my memory serves me correct, is going to be to his right over here where he's to the doorbell.
It doesn't appear to be there right now.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is that he has to exit that premise. Somebody in the chat, multiple people in the chat a couple of days ago were saying that they saw what looked like a partial foot impression. It may be possible. I mean, your thoughts, Ed?
I did see a linear mark that looked like it might be like an edge of something. But I can't say for sure that it was a footwear impression, like the edge of a shoe. But again, I would need good detailed photographs with scales to examine that. But since we keep bringing up the clothes, the sneakers are going to be identified. Okay, the jacket he's wearing is going to be identified. The make and manufacturer, the backpack is going to get identified. The make and manufacturer, just like in the Luigi Mangione case, so that we're able to from the video identify the backpack and the make and manufacturer and so forth. The mask is going to be able to be identified. His height and weight is going to be able to be identified using. We use a system called photogrammetry, and the photogrammetry software is very easy, especially with this portico right here. You see the tiles that are on the ground. You see the bricks. There are specific sizes, and we know the sizes of those tiles, and we know the size of the bricks. So it would be easy to scale these images from the video and the stills taken from the videos to get the height and weight of this individual. We know this individual has a mustache, and if you look closer, at some of these other still photographs, if we can look below the lower lip, we might be able to see some facial hair there too.
Clearly, so right. I'm going to go full screen. Our audio will still be on, but in this still right here, you could clearly see what looks to be a groomed mustache, dark in color. Of course, this is black and white because it's the night vision on these cameras. But this here is showing you definitely, a mustache. You look at the eyes. Some people are saying, "Oh, in this picture, he's got a flashlight in the mouth." I think that's just a reflection, Ed, from the camera.
Yeah, I don't see it as a flashlight because he didn't approach with a flashlight.
Here you can see mustache top and also partial hair on the bottom lip, underneath the bottom lip. You see that? Right.
And you see kind of the reflection from the infrared on his lower lip there. Okay. Yeah. So it could be that he had some saliva on the lips, and the angle of the infrared that impacted it that caused this this reflection back in the third photograph there. That's when he had the plant material in his hands that he was trying to cover the camera with.
Right. Yeah. Here you could see that he was holding it here. But yeah, this is a huge break, and I think that in a very short period of time, we may have somebody in custody in regards to this case.
And that holster and that gun, the way he's got it set up, his friends, his loved ones, whoever this person is, might have seen that exact same setup, and if someone's looking to make a few bucks on that reward, they'll give this guy up in a heartbeat. They had nothing to do with it. Okay. And they say, "Hey, I know who this guy is. I've seen that holster. I've seen him carry that gun like that before."
Yeah. And let's be clear about this. I mean, because there's many people talking about it, because I like to clear up misinformation. That's definitely not a flashlight in his mouth, because we would have seen it when he turned to the left or when he was walking, and there wasn't that. This is the night vision from the Nest camera, which has an hour worth of internal storage. That is a blessing. That is that's something that is such a great nugget for investigators, because the FBI and the profilers and folks who have good eyes for identification, this is I think we're going to be seeing an arrest forthcoming.
Go back. Okay. When he first walks in, he tucks his head down, and the reflectors on his backpack are shining, but there was that reflection off of his mouth area.
And you see how he's leaning to the left? Somebody
Yeah,
said, "Oh, I have scoliosis, and I kind of lean to a left," or that could just be indicative of an injury, maybe a shoulder injury or something of that nature. But
yeah, see, when he initially walked in, there was the lighted area by his lips and his mouth, but then he ducks his head down, and then when he picks his head back up, and yeah, you could see it pop on and off.
he seems surprised.
Maybe he's got that in his closed mouth there. Maybe he does have a light in his closed mouth. And then when he opens his mouth, it shines. Because if you go back and you can see when he's playing with the plants, you could see what appears to be a light come down out of his mouth onto the plants. See it?
Hold on, let me go back. Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, something flashed right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, folks in the chat, you see that? So again, I maybe I'm wrong about that reflection, because there is definitely something a quick flash right there. Let's back it up and let's bring it forward. Shit, it almost looked like like he flashed a picture. See how it like flashed?
Yeah, I think maybe he opened his mouth. Watch, see it there, and then when he raises up, you see it again.
Yeah, you see it right up here.
Yeah. And then when he initially entered, he ducked his head when he initially entered, and there was some light there too.
Yeah,
not in this in the beginning when he initially entered.
You mean I wish we had him
before this.
All right, hold on.
Go back.
No. So I got to go forward, actually. This is just like a continuous loop on this is.
But anyhow, this is great. And now if those other camera systems
look
around the sides of the house, up on the roof and so forth, are the same system, and he walked around the property, maybe we got more details. So far we only see one perp. Maybe the others would show if there's any additional people with him.
Yeah, I stand corrected. He definitely had something inside his mouth. That's interesting in itself. Ed, what's the thoughts on the gloves? Those look like really heavy, thicker gloves.
He's wearing multiple pair of gloves.
Multiple, and it looks like he has multiple layers of clothing on too. And let's talk about the backpack and his attire. What potentially could be in that backpack for someone who's planning, obviously, to come here and do what he did.
He could have burglar's tools. He could have zip ties, rope, things that he can bind the victim with.
A lot of perps in the areas that I've worked, when they would do like car thefts, like breaking into cars or breaking into homes, they would wear empty backpacks.
Right.
And they would stuff, because I made many arrests in my time of, some of these perps that would come in with not exactly this type of attire, but those backpacks, those big fluffy ones, because they want to be able to store the maximum amount of goods like jewelry, things that are worth a lot of money within the dwelling. So, maybe there's a double component to this, where this person was going in there to maybe get valuables as well. And then she got startled or got up, and then she became part of the, this is just me spitballing here, but you never know.
Yeah, but the backpack does look full, like he's got contents in it.
Absolutely.
So he would have, if he was going to steal the valuables and so forth, he would have to, ditch some of the contents that are in the bag to put something in it to hide it.
How about this, Ed? How about this comment here from Liz Stribe? Flashlight in the mouth, and then he handled the debris to the doorknob. 100% left DNA. But
that's only if there's DNA on those outer gloves. Okay.
Right.
So he's got multiple pairs of gloves on. Definitely, you could see that it's too thick.
Let's look at this thing straight through.
Yeah, they're going to be able to enhance this, and then they're going to be able to this is infrared, so they can do a series of tests with the similar camera and try to replicate this back here at the scene to figure out the colors.
What about saliva from, if you just picture putting an object like that in your mouth and a round flashlight, you lean forward, drool could come out of his mouth, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Magical Mary says, DutyRon, there's a second video. Interesting. On the FBI's website, where can I see that? Ed, what are you up to today? It looks like you're doing a little. You're at an outpost in the house, or you're doing some kind of construction or something. Ed, what's happening?
No. I'm just visiting a relative.
Okay, very good.
And I have this little light here.
Let me see. Put it in your mouth. There we go.
I turn it on.
Come on, Ed.
I don't know. Let me see. How do I keep this on? It's not my light, but
all right. Tiger says in the second video he's not wearing the backpack or the gun. I'm going to go to Savannah Guthrie's Instagram. Maybe it'll be there. All right, so that didn't work. All right, but we get the point.
Right. You have a small light like that. You can that whole thing could fit in your mouth, and you just open your mouth.
So yeah, I do believe that they've had this. Maybe not for a really long time, but they've had this. And I think when we heard from the president and he said, "Oh, I think we're going to have a resolution real soon," I think that he was made aware of this Nest recording. And kudos to the tech team at Nest, because we love to give credit where credit's due. And this is not just law enforcement. This is the tech team at Nest who works alongside of law enforcement. Just like there's a component in all the socials, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, there's a law enforcement portal that communications go back and forth when they have investigations. So I tip my hat to the Nest tech team who was working probably in conjunction with the FBI to extract this data. And there's probably lots more. Ed, you see anything in the chat? I know you have limited.
No, I got it. I got all the chat here. I mean, what's interesting too, that if that flashlight, if that is in fact a flashlight, again, it goes back to being amateurish. If you would have shined that flashlight at that camera, it wouldn't have been able to photograph you or to videotape you. It would have overwhelmed the system because of the IR present.
Right. Yeah. So a lot of mistakes made here. And if it's more than one perpetrator, I'm hoping to God that those cameras on the other parts of the house had the same technology where they could extract additional footage, because that would be key. That would be really key.
And also, this is now it's got me really thinking about who is sending these ransom emails. Because this guy seems so amateurish. I don't think this guy is sending these emails that have not been able to be tracked that we're aware of to date.
Yeah. Well, there's tons of international people that try to, take advantage of somebody in a vulnerable position as this. So I'm sure that they're just like roaches on the floor. There's plenty of them. So they see an opportunity. They try to seize an opportunity to get additional funds. Those ransoms could have been just somebody outside the country looking to get crypto and take advantage of this family. So let's see. Kristen sent me. Maybe this will be the second video. I'm hoping it is, because anybody that has where I can get the second video, I appreciate that. But let's see what Kristen has. Oh, Cash Patel, FBI. Let's do it. Ed, scan the chat.
I'm scanning.
Questions in the chat. Hashtag DutyRon, hashtag Ed. Let me poll you guys while I search for this. Anybody here feel that an arrest is forthcoming? Please let us know. If you think an arrest is forthcoming, put a 1 in the chat. If you think they still have a lot of work to do, put a 2. I'm just curious where everybody is here with this, because it would be interesting to see how everyone's feeling. Let me see. We'll go to X. Trying to pull it up. Got it. Cash Patel.
And then if this is the guy, he was in that house for 40 something minutes.
41 minutes, Ed.
Okay. Again, so it's either the guy knows this place, but it doesn't appear he knows this place, right? It's either the guy knows this place and he's comfortable, or he's an amateur and he was in there all that time doing God knows what.
God only knows. All right, here we go. That took a long time to get this. Now, let me share. Some stills. All right, yeah, here's him coming up.
Now go back. You see the light out of his mouth?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
definitely a light. He's
got the gun there. He's got the gun in the backpack there.
Yeah.
So this isn't nothing we haven't seen already.
Yeah, so that's some type of flashlight that he's turning on and off. And this is a great look because you could see his walk. You know, he's not.
Right, he's got his head down. All he needed to do was shine that flashlight directly at that camera, and it would have disabled it from videotaping him. It would have overwhelmed the IR.
That's a pretty good still right here. Side profile. You can see the...
yeah, we could zoom in on that. If we could zoom in, you can probably see that lower lip and some hair underneath there.
It's not allowing me.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see the outline of the lips. Eyebrows up top. Can't see eye color, but there is manipulation that they can do through photography. And these guys can do an unbelievable job with this. So over the last 8 days, the FBI and the Pima County Sheriff's Department have been working closely with our private sector partners, as we just said, to continue to recover images and video. And that's why the kudos has to go to the Nest tech team. And they probably put their best on it, right? Their A squad, right? The first grade detectives from Nest worked on this, and Cash Patel confirms that right here. So good stuff. Let me see if there's anything else. Ed, where were you when this broke? And what was your thoughts initially as soon as you saw this? I know you reviewed it a couple of times, but you have, you know.
When it broke, I'm right here where I was before, and then I immediately called you to get a hold of you to see, hey, let's get on live here and talk about this. It's breaking.
Of course, I was in the dentist getting my teeth cleaned. So let's go to the chat. It's fair. It's fair to go to the chat. So Char 85 says, DutyRon, is this after Nancy was hurt? We believe that this is before he entered the home, but we don't know 100%. It would appear, right, Ed, that this is his initial approach.
Right. I don't see any blood drops on the tile.
No, I slowed it up. I looked at this for about 20 minutes before we went live, and that's what I look for. I look for those blood drops, and I did not see them. Let's hear this coverage.
This is a major break in this case.
This is local from Fox 5 New York, by the way.
And to continue our discussion on our top story, we want to bring in retired Lieutenant Commander of the NYPD, Ralph Salento. Ralph,
it's going to be more. This is just going to be more of a talking head talking about a retired lieutenant. But I just wanted to see if they had any more, but I guess not. All right, Ed. I do believe that if they had the nests in the front, they probably bought the solar panels. I took the liberty of going on to nest.com, and they do sell, just like Ring devices, the Ring video doorbells. They do sell the cameras. They have floodlight cameras, Nest, but they also have the standalone cameras with solar power. So I believe that they have those similar capabilities, and that would be fantastic, because at least it could clear the yard and tell us that nobody came into that backyard, or if somebody did. All right, here, 12 Doodlebug 83 says, DutyRon and Ed, was there blood on the flowers? So this could be there. Wait.
No, I don't think she's questioning. She said there was blood on the flowers. So
how would you?
Well, I mean, again, you could sequence that. If you looked at the flowers you're talking about the flowers that were left on the tile, because if that's the case, well, the flowers could have come first and the blood deposited second.
Yeah. So let me see these still images that people are talking about here. I think we did go through these still images, Ed. Let's get them up. Thank you, chat, for getting us up to speed on anything. Yeah, the blood was over here, right?
Yep. And the flowers aren't there yet.
Right. Unless there's, and I mean, I'm on Cash Patel's, the FBI. I looked on, okay, wait. Kristen just shared a,
right. The photos on the photos of the,
hold on a second.
Flowers on the tile in the portico may have blood on it, but that could have come from the dripping of the blood, and the flowers were there first.
Right. Kristen just shared this. I'm going to go full screen with me. Look at this, Ed.
Oh, now I got a color version of it.
Blue jacket.
There we go. There we go. Blue jacket. Was that blue jeans?
Yeah.
Is it who's giving this?
So this came from Kristen.
Yeah, but where did Kristen get it? What's the source?
Kristen, I think she said she got it off Cash Patel's. I'm not sure.
Are they sneakers or cowboy boots? What are we looking at there?
It looks like I mean, it's blurry. I'm going to just zoom in. It looks like it could be Timberland type style boots. They're not cowboy boots. They're not cowboy boots. She's saying it's on Cash Patel's. Why the hell don't I see it? Hold on a second.
Is on Cash Patel's Twitter or what?
I'm on the Twitter and I don't see it. So let me go to media. Hold on. I just scrolled through his whole thing. All right, work with us.
Can you put that color photo back up?
Sure. I'm going to go full screen.
Let me see. Lift it up just a little bit. Interesting. Go back up a little bit more.
They look like Timberland type boots. They're blurry, but
I don't know. I mean, because there's something pointing out at the front that looks like a toe.
I mean, I can't make it out 100% because it is blurry.
Yeah.
Let's see. There's a lot of people speculating. It looks like a gray mask. Somebody just said white mask. No, this mask looks gray. Hold on. I wish I could get this on the computer. All right, Ed, scan the chat. I'm going to start looking like mad for this.
If that's the case, if that is as somebody in the chat suggests, a running shoe with a toe separated or something to that effect, that makes it even more easy to identify. Okay. And that's something a pro would not do.
Right. Kristen shared an additional stuff with me that I don't want to share here because it's speculation of people comparing this person to a particular individual. We won't do that. Yes, everybody can speculate all they want of who this possibly could be, but we leave that up to the professionals at the end of the day. Yes, clearly there is a mustache, clearly. So, this is from Cash Patel's Twitter. I don't see that picture of the color. Kristen's not really providing me of where she got the. Okay, so she was okay, but that is an example of how the FBI can enhance these black and white photos. Is they, Ed, I alluded to that earlier.
Yep.
They can take this image right here that we're seeing and make this into color. Simple program. It doesn't take a brain surgeon to do it. Any person can do it, and they can color up this photograph. But it's interesting of how he immediately put his head down, but then played like stupid, like it almost seemed like he was trying to play like, I'm going to try to shield myself from this camera.
Did you see? There's someone in the chat, Spurs Girl 2674, saying that News 10 is saying breaking body found close related to somewhat Nancy was last seen in. Waiting on confirmation. Can we get News 10?
News 10 Phoenix?
Is it Spurs Girl? Is that News 10 Phoenix?
Hold on, I'm going to put it up.
Coverage. We want to get back to Alicia Acuna.
Hold on. There's so many News 10, so I got to know where it is. Arizona. Okay, here we go.
Oh, wait. Someone's saying confirmed, not Nancy.
Okay. All right. Let's not go with this stuff, but let's see what they're reporting on, because this is, I mean, let me see. I'm just going to let it play without the commentary. Just want to see if there's anything additional here that maybe we didn't see. Ed, so from a forensic standpoint, from a crime scene investigator, what's next? What's the next steps for investigators that have now more that we know for a fact? There's more than this, right? We know that as law enforcement. This is what they chose to show the public. Where do they go from here, Ed?
Well, the next thing I think what they're going to do is, just like they put out a wanted poster for information about this individual, they're going to put out another poster breaking down the clothing and the backpack and asking the public for help. If you know somebody that owns this jacket, this backpack, these sneakers, this mask, $50,000 reward for information leading to the arrest and recovery and so forth and so on.
Ed, I'm looking at the photo that Kristen shared with me. It obviously was color enhanced because I see grass in the front yard. So
I mean, it's not. You can definitely do that with these images. You just have to have the right software.
Absolutely, and this is out there. This may not even been released by official law enforcement, but that's the tools in the toolbox that you could do this. You know, that whole getup with the jeans and the blue jacket and the gray ski mask. They could have this technology at Nest as well to enhance these images that we're seeing here. Because again, there's so many different things that they could tweak that we wouldn't be able to do. But anybody that's into photography, anybody that plays around with editing and so forth can do what I showed there. So again, that wasn't anything official. That was just something that was shared by Kristen to me. Probably shouldn't have showed that, but that just gives you a depiction of what can be done with this stuff. So Rome 3336 says, dark eyebrows. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Dark eyelashes, goatee, and or beard. This is a lot to get. And then this helps so much in the investigation. You get to see how this perp walks. You get to see, his movements, what he used, how. I would love to see the exit. I mean, obviously, they wouldn't show that, especially as the victim of this crime probably is coming out that front door with them. But if she didn't come out that front door, Ed, think about it, and they took her out through the side and walked around along that driveway where we saw that second guest house, whatever you want to call it, maid's quarters, guest house. If they walked her out of there, there's 2 cameras. So, or if they had a car pulled up there, we don't know. We just have this view, this vision. Maybe those cameras can provide more information for the investigators. But for them to share this, they obviously want more eyes on this image. If you know someone who looks like this, do not hesitate to call that tip line. Ed, right?
Yeah.
No tip is a bad tip. So
they're going to break down, like I said, they're going to break down that clothing. They're going to identify where in this area these articles of clothing are sold. You can expect, if they identify the make, manufacturer, and size of the clothing, they're going to go to the various stores that sell that in that area and try to see if anybody recognizes. I mean, these things could have been bought a long time ago, but still, you're gonna track that stuff down, and just like they did in many high-profile cases like Kohlberger and so forth, tracking sales. Yeah. Once they got a suspect, they'll go through that, credit cards and Amazon and all this stuff, and try to track down the sale of all these articles of clothing in the backpack and so forth, and link it to the perp.
Okay, so I just want to confirm, beautiful disaster, you are not invisible. The chat's moving really fast. So here's just another example of what photography can do. And I want to share this with you guys because this is valuable for us lay people who aren't investigators or who aren't having this type of technology. But let me just take this off. Magical Mary, I'll get to that in a minute. Look at that. Enhanced photo of that.
Let me see it again.
I took it off because I didn't know what notification was coming up.
See, now in that photograph, doesn't look like he has a mustache.
Yeah, you can see it.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. But you can see it a little bit. What do you guys think in the chat? Like to know what the chat thinks, because we always like to hear what our live chat is interested in. Somebody saying male Hispanic. I mean, that's a tough call to make when someone's masked. But this imaging here is pretty interesting.
Yeah. Send that to me.
I will. Thank you for providing that. Here's another one.
And where's the source of these?
this is just photography. Again, this isn't coming from law enforcement. Let me be clear about it. And let me show you this again here. Hold on.
So this is
what you could do to lighten up and look at this in true color, in real color.
let's see those. Holy God! Now it definitely. I swear, now it looks like he's wearing socks.
Yeah, somebody said that in the chat. So people are still saying, check the news, elderly female found dead in Pima County. I'm going to look at that, but I'm not going to go live and put that out there live because I don't know. Let's go to the super chats. Ed, I know you are now, Ed's, I know exactly what Ed's doing. Thank you for the super chat. Took over a week to get this video. That's bullcrap. Granted, man, I don't think it's bullcrap. I didn't think it took a week. I think they had it, but they were evaluating it and looking at it because they're not going to release it immediately like, oh, look what we found. They need to do this is their case. They got to find out who did this. So they may have had this. And I believe that they had it when President Trump was questioned on Air Force One about, is there going to be an arrest soon? And he said, yeah, we're close. I don't remember the words, but he said words to the effect of like, we may have closure in this soon. BB, thank you for the 5. It looks like there's shoe covers, booty covers on his shoes. And then this one, it looks like socks. It damn sure does look like socks. Wisconsin Cat Mom, thank you for becoming a member. William, thank you for becoming a new member. Rome, thank you for the 2. Appreciate you. Dark eyebrows, dark eyelashes, goatee or beard. We don't know about the beard. Beamer, good to see you. Prayers for the family. Thanks for the updates. Beamer, always great to see you. Let us know what you think in the chat. AC Freeman 2452, thank you for the 5. Was Nancy deceased when he left the house or when she left the house? We don't know. Ed, these are all questions that people have, but we don't have the answers. We don't know.
Nope.
Thick gloves, presumed to be 2 sets of gloves. Yeah, we talked about that. Yes. Magical Mary. Look at the reply to Cash's original message. Starts with additional recovered images from the same camera at Nancy Guthrie's front door home the morning of her disappearance, including 2 videos of individuals. Look at the reply to Cash Patel. Cash original message. All right, I'll look at that. Thank you, Magical Mary. Thank you, Janet Scott, for the 2. Thank you, Master Blubber. Always good to see you. In the comments under the post. In comments. Okay, got it. I'm going to be on it. Dash Libra 2171. Thank you for the 10. Pima County Sheriff is saying that the remains found are not related to this case. Pima County Sheriff is saying that the remains found are not related to this case. Thank you, Das Libra 2171. You are the best. Thanks for the 10 as well. New member for joining us, Nicole. Good to see you. Deanna, thank you for the 5. Pew pew in the holster. Yeah, gun at the waist. We see it right here. He's covering it there with his hand, but yeah, you damn sure can see. Ed, what are you doing?
I'm looking at the feet.
Catherine Bott, Tallbot, thank you for the 2. I'm all caught up on the supers. Let's go.
I do see a heel on his right foot, what appears to be a heel. So yeah. I'm not sure. It could be a
Who sent you the picture? Kristen sent you the picture? I know that she did, right?
Yes. All right.
There we go, folks. What do you guys make of that? Is there a heel down here? Shit. Sorry for the cursing.
Yeah. One of my buddies saying that could be a specific brand called Keen shoes with a rubber toe that looks like a sock. You gotta look that up. Keen shoes.
Yeah. Here's another interesting one. Look at those eyes.
Yeah.
Good gravy. these are some of the tools that the FBI and the tech experts will do. But yeah, he does not give the image of a professional.
Yeah. See, he's got a dark soul on those shoes.
He does not give out off the vibes of a professional. This is hack. This is somebody that doesn't do this.
Right. So that's why I'm saying, this could have been more of a botched burglary or home invasion robbery.
Wackadoo says, Ed, what are you doing? I say this to Ed.
Stop breathing down my neck.
Pardon my French.
Hold on, Cameron. Where is he?
Pardon my French, but you're an asshole. Pardon my French.
Thank you, Cameron. All right, so here's some of the timeline. Let's listen. All right, let's see. We got a bunch of new memberships. Guys, if you're not yet subscribed and you're just stumbling across CrimeTime with DutyRon and Ed Wallace, we're both retired New York City police detectives. Ed has 20 years of experience processing crime scenes. He's a crime scene and DNA evidence expert, processed over 2,700 crime scenes. He teaches across the world, across the globe, forensics and hazardous material and all different weapons of mass destruction and so forth. Ed is a guru when it comes to this stuff. But like when I said to you, Ed, where do they go from here? This is now the tech, that we talked about. This crime will be solved by tech. This is where this is going, because the sailboat has sailed out on a lot of the forensic evidence because they allowed regular people to walk up onto this area where this perp was. And that really kills it, for the lack of a better word. All right, Joe, thank you for the 10. Ed he has a flashlight in his mouth. Shouldn't the plants in his hand be tested for saliva? All the plants remaining on the ground over it in that area where Brian Enton footage? Yes. And Ed, do you remember we saw to the left of as you walk up to the front door? I know you're not even paying attention.
I'm listening.
Talking. As you walk up to this front door, remember we saw 3 detectives in the overhead going and looking in that area?
Uh-huh.
Remember, it was
yes, I do.
Female and the one male in the white shirt in the overhead. They were right there in that area. And I asked you, what do you think they're doing over there? Well, they were over there because they looked at this video. Thank you for the 10 super chat, Joe. Lieutenant Commander Joe Cardinale. I'm telling you, I was in the dentist. Oh, here it is. Here's some of this is good. I was in the dentist's office and my phone blew up. It lit up like a Christmas tree. And Joe Cardinale was one of those people who blew up my phone, and you, Ed, and Kristen, and all of our great true crimers here from CrimeTime with DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Ed, Joe Cardinale, Lieutenant, thank you for joining 2 days in a row. You're on overtime. Put the slip in. I'm paying.
How you guys doing, boy? This is some wild stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Of the video, Nest, I'm on the website. I don't know if you've been listening, but I went in to do some detective work in the Nest, all of the capabilities. And as per the Nest website, the wired and video doorbells possess limited internal memory. They allow them to record and store up to 1 hour of events on their locally held memory on the device. Your thoughts on that, Lieutenant?
I'll tell you, I'm happy we had mentioned that on the show. I don't know whether you remember, we were speaking about that, about how there has to be some capacity for them to retrieve this, because the other thing is, you said, Ron, is, if they get stolen, they want to be, they want to have that as well. When people do steal the equipment themselves. But a lot of things are, I mean, I was just hit with some theories about the husband. I think it was Savannah's husband, worked for the Clintons at one time. And that theory is popping up out there. They're hitting theories up all over the place. Three main theories about it, But, I can't even entertain that right now. I think I'm going right back to what we had discussed, and that's going back to the financials. Who has the most to gain from this? This still isn't somebody that just happened upon this house. All right. If you notice, this person walks up with the head down. One of the funniest things I heard was, are those braces in his mouth that are shining? No, that's a flashlight that he's using within his mouth. Braces don't cast the beam when
Right.
you look down. So, I mean, people just get so far ahead of themselves. And as you and I know, and Ed, you can attest to this, you go back to the basics. You go back to the basics and see, now that you have this, now you start making all your puzzle pieces fit. But they're still really not saying how this person got in. Was there a key hidden? Is that why this person took those weeds and put them across the camera? Was they a hideaway key that somebody knew about? So I think this is all going to come out, and you're another 100% right. They had this. They just could not put it out there with the kidnapping theory out there. So they had to make sure that they got that out of the way first.
Joe, I wanted to ask you, and I know Ed has the same thought that I'm about to ask you. As a lieutenant commander in the NYPD, when you work in a case like this, how important, how big is retrieving video of your perpetrator? Joe.
It's crucial. It can make or break your case. You need that. You need every piece of evidence. But anything like this, you see how you're picking it apart right now? You did a great job enhancing that photo. That was great to show the color aspect of it. Puts a whole new light on this. Don't you think the FBI has already done that? And if they were smart, they could put this color out there. I think they held off on this because of, a few reasons. They didn't want to scare somebody off that might think they're onto them. But it's, that ship has sailed right now. And I think they're gonna pick apart. They already know the height on this person based on walking in over there, and the person's familiarity with walking up to that place, knowing what they're gonna walk to, is something else as well. Apparently, right-handed, has the gun on the right, for the right hand. So it tells a lot about this person. Now, they having the color aspect of it that you have, they'll start looking for that backpack. Where was it purchased? Was it purchased locally? Was it purchased by somebody known to the family? Let's put it that way, known to the family. Has anybody in the family seen this individual's profile before? Somebody that looks just like this. Maybe somebody with a caretaker, somebody that drove her around. They're going to start putting a rhyme or reason to this. Might be a little faster now that they have this out there, but you can see your sites blowing up with people, offering their advice on it. Multiply that by 10,000, and that's what's going on right now.
Also too, Joe, what I love, boss, about this, and Ed and I talk about it all the time, the true crime enthusiasts that take hours and hours to analyze every inch of video, every bit of evidence. Some of these true crime enthusiasts are just as good as some of our greatest detectives. They're picking up on stuff that sometimes get missed. And it was funny, Ed, you said to me on Sunday morning, was the FBI and the sheriffs listening to us? Because now they're up on the roof. We said it on Saturday night, and then Sunday they're on the roof. So you don't know what law enforcement is doing, how many people are watching these videos. And I'm sure that they pick and choose who they're watching because they want to, get different angles from different people. That's why when we get a task force together, when they start the homicide or the robbery task force, it's a bunch of guys and girls, right? So everybody puts a sense in. Ed, what are you doing?
I'm watching the chat.
All right.
Ed cracks me up. No matter what he's doing, his mind is always working. So that you can rest assured of,
Yeah, I'm like a shark, boss. I got to keep moving forward, otherwise I'll die.
Let me pull the chat, gentlemen, while we have a minute. I love our super chatters. I love our live chatters. I love the replay viewers. Shout out to the replay viewers. If you're new and first time stumbling across, please take a moment to subscribe. I would say about 60 to 70% of our viewing audience when we do these types of videos are not subscribed. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button. You got that 30-day no money back guarantee, no questions asked. There's no restocking, no handling charges. Subscribe for 30 days. Give it a shot. See how you like it. And, if you don't, you always have that option. That's a good one right there. I want to stop that. Really get a good look into his eyes on that picture right there. It's just interesting to me that, we have such a vast amount of resources available to them now that Kash Patel and the FBI has given them their full resources. If anything that they ask for, it's just a simple phone call or a simple message, via department mail or whatever the case may be. So the whole team and the approach that they're taking with this is just it's like nothing you can ever see. They're going to no stone is going to be left unturned. That's for sure.
And Dan Bongino, Ron, just so you know, he was speaking before on air, and he said that he didn't want to give away some things, that there are things that we don't even know about that the FBI has in their bag of tricks, and nor should we, because we don't want to give that up, because as much as you have everybody, you have a great following, you have people that watch this, that they're criminals. They watch these things too. They watch all these stories and they go, "Oh, how can I do this? How can I do that?" Just on the simple things. We always said when they go to jail, it's college for them. That's college. So they go over there and they're learning everything that they can, how to pick locks, how to do this. It's always been up there. But I'll tell you something. How sad is it? And it's not sad. It's a kudos to your audience that they pick up on things that the sheriff's department should have picked up on. Like today, you would think that they would still secure the scene, yet somebody got to walk up to the door with pizza. All right? I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
Boss, I was watching earlier before this broke, and there was a guy in all black walking around the house. And I was like, and I was like, who's this guy? And the drone footage, it was drone footage from Fox News that was capturing this guy walking around the house.
Yeah.
That was the left side of the house, right? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. That's when I was live with Jonathan Hunt on that. And I'm telling them when we're on when they break camera with me, and I'm able to tell them, I said, is it me or does anybody else see this guy walking around while you're doing a live shot with the drone up? And they're not supposed to be there.
Right.
Deb Nelson, great question, and thank you for highlighting it with a bunch of cues. That really got my attention. She says, and I'm going to put this out to you and Ed and Joe. Question: that with facial recognition these days, can they identify the person with that technology, and also with the ski mask? Joe, I'll go to you first.
They absolutely can. It's the contour of the face. They'll put all that data in there, and they'll tell them what they're looking for. I mean, they could pick people apart that are driving a car. They were doing it in England. They were using it for cameras in England for for speeding tickets and people not wearing seatbelts and everything. And they could tell by the contour of the face. What you have here is you have the mouth, you have the eyes, if you look at this guy, you'll have the indent by the nose. All right. Here's another thing. This ski mask is pulled down. It looks like he's got a double chin. It could be something too. It could be like facial hair tucked in over there as well. So these are a lot of things that they should be going back looking for in certain areas where they discarded along any particular route. Any of this stuff, was it discarded, or was it just taken in the vehicle that was used to transport? But excellent question, because it's so advanced right now with the facial recognition that it's becoming harder and harder to challenge some of these things in court.
They made an identification off of a bank robber based on the blue jeans that he was wearing. From the security footage, they were able to look at the side seam of the blue jeans and match the creases and stitching to the actual jeans recovered from the suspect. And that was an interesting case because it went through a Fry hearing and a Daubert hearing, and the judge allowed it in. and it was used for the conviction. So
Yeah.
what AI is doing these days with digital forensics is amazing.
It's incredible. And we had the renal and the facial recognition during Occupy Wall Street when they were down at Zuccotti Park. I don't know if any of you guys remember that, but I had just retired, and I was there working private security, and they had up on the poles there, because my brother was working in real-time crime up at 1PP, but they were able to identify people's face just doing the renal and the facial recognition. And a lot of them were wearing ski masks. A lot of them had their faces covered, but they were, zoning in on people who had warrants from out of state, and they were picking them up through those cameras. Well, it's interesting. Mastiff Lover, thank you for the 10. She says, I've wondered if this is a random home invasion, and when they realized who this was, the ransom idea was born. Possible. Anything's possible here. There could be so many different, but I really think that this person went there knowing that she was home, knowing that she was alone, knowing that she was 84 years old, knowing that the family has a lot of money. Now the family's getting to look at this. The whole entire Guthrie family is analyzing like what we're doing here and watching this video. If this guy seems familiar, if this looks like Annie's husband or anybody or anyone that people are talking about, who's going to be better to identify? Oh, that's his walk. That's what he does. That's what, you know what I'm saying? And I saw some people in the chat saying, oh, this could be a female. I mean, I would be seriously surprised if this was a female. This looks like a male all the way, 100%. Why the backpack, says one of our live chatters, Condi, to take out valuable items. Most of our people who do home invasions or break-ins, they take their duct tape, they put it in there, they take their equipment, handcuffs, zip ties. There could be a tarp in there to take out anybody who gets in their way. There could be a whole host of different things, so this is a common setup for a home break-in. 9 times out of 10, someone's going to have a backpack on. It happens a lot. Isn't that correct, boss?
Exactly. And another thing, that key about that flashlight in the mouth. All right, that's something else. Wanted those hands available for whatever. Right, but still, I don't know if anybody can answer this question yet, because I haven't heard it from the investigators. Is the point of entry? What was the point of entry for this person? And that's key. You don't realize how key that is, because if the door was kicked in, you would see the door shattered. All right. Was it within that 2 minutes of somebody sneaking in? Did they just drop her off and go, or did they watch her go? Because they made a point of saying how it took 2 minutes for. But then again, we're not focused on that. We're focused on the front door. So that eliminates another question that came up. But right now, it looks like the front door is the point of entry. How did they get in?
Boss, so too, I want to interject just for a moment, and I hate to cut you off, but when we saw that front door and when there was press conferences, the sheriff was pressed on was there forced entry, and he didn't answer that question, right? But when we looked at that door, Brian Enton, our friend from News Nation, he walked up and gave us a bird's eye view of that door on video. I think he did it with his phone. But how many people, especially elderly people with sliding glass doors all around their home, forget to do that latch? It happens a lot, and they could have, and I'm hoping that they didn't go through this front door. I'm hoping that this perp went around back, and those cameras that they took off the roofs, the 2 cameras, the media is not talking about the front one that faces the driveway, that faces where the garage is. They took that off. Ed and I, we caught that. But
hey,
what?
Some of our super sleuths here are putting still images of the backpack into AI, and it's giving them possibilities of the manufacturer of the backpack.
There you go.
I'm not surprised. But an unlocked door could be a point of entry for this perp, and this could. I'm just spitballing. This is speculation, which I don't like to do, but this could be somebody that knows someone that worked or did work for him. Could have been someone who did the roof. Could have been someone who did a pool repair. It could have been the actual pool repair or roofing person. This could be a multitude of different perpetrators all over. You could just go. you could just go on this and run. Jolene, thank you for being here. She says, question DutyRon back at Annie's right now. The police are back at Annie's. I'm going to go search for that. I'm putting you guys on. Questions for Joe, hashtag Ed, hashtag Ron. Put them in the chat. I'm going to be off looking at stuff. You guys got the show just for a moment.
So, Ed, let me ask you a question. The timeline, it shows that this camera went off after this person got to the door. In other words, shut that camera down for maybe that's the time when they were doing the entry. I mean, think about an 84-year-old woman getting dropped off after having dinner, whatever they did. What time is this now? She's probably in bed at this point. She's probably in bed. And this is why I'm saying getting into that house without kicking that door and without making noises, you have to wonder if there was a key secreted someplace that this person knew.
Yeah.
Which is actually one of the worst things you could do if you have an elderly person living by themselves.
Yeah, have a hidden key somewhere.
Exactly.
Right. That's what I initially thought when he was rummaging through the plants. Was he looking for a hidden key that maybe he knew was over there or something like that? But no, this idiot tore the plants out to try to cover the camera.
Or he was looking for it and then realized the camera was on, and then people would be asking, what was he doing over there?
Right.
And he ripped it out to make it look like he was covering the camera with it. But he actually, does it. Because if you really wanted that camera gone, gloves or no gloves, you could rip that camera off.
Right off. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, you could have shined a light right at it. It would have disabled the infrared there. I've done this several times with my own cameras. I hit it with my high-powered flashlight, and then you look at the monitor, and it just whites out, and it takes a while for it to reboot to get images again. Okay, right.
It's a lot of questions that I think the FBI has the answers to, and they're going to leave it to everybody. That's why the news, they were complaining this morning, a couple of the channels, of why they're not putting out. They should. You know what? They're so spoiled in the news right now that they think they're entitled to updates every 15 minutes. And as the FBI gets them, they think they're entitled to getting it. And that's so far from the truth. Yeah. I wouldn't give them anything at this point, because you have a woman's life at stake. And if there is other circumstances for Ms. Guthrie, you still want to be able to reunite her with her family. And that's more important than, satisfying the need of all these stations to get out there and report something. Who's going to break it first? I really don't care who breaks it first. That's not the point right now. We still have a crime here. We still have a missing 84-year-old grandmother. So we have a problem here. And, that comes secondary to everything. That's why everybody that's on your feed right now is amazing that they get out there and they're running it just like everybody else, because they're not just curious. They want the same thing we want. They want justice.
Justice for the victims. That's right. That's what it's all about.
So, gentlemen, I couldn't find a live feed out at Annie Guthrie's house, but if someone has it, send it to me on DutyRon.com. The roof work was done in January, but it doesn't matter when the work was done. What matters is that they have people. These are some of the people that have to be checked off, because they have access for many days to the home to see who comes and goes, to see who lives in the dwelling. It's almost like they're doing they do a recon. They have a good grip of what's going on in the house. But thank you, Hobbit from the Shires. Thank you for that message. And you know what? These are just one of many different possibilities. Victimology works from the family, the closest people to Nancy Guthrie, and they work their way out.
So those workers, the pool cleaner, the septic people, the roofers, and so forth, they've been approached and they're asked to voluntarily give up their DNA.
Yeah, they can ask.
There you go. That's a good one. It looks like a pressable digital lock. So if that's a code lock, that's somebody else. How often do they share that code?
Yeah.
Some of these codes, by the way, on the more sophisticated systems are tied in with the the alarm in the house, and it'll tell when the code was tried to, like if somebody's trying to put a code in, it'll let you know that. All right. They have that. That's, and I think, Ed, you can attest to that. I don't know how sophisticated they are with this particular system over here, but I don't know. The fact that that garage door was monitored going up and it took 2 minutes to go down, then there's something monitoring that. So.
Mhm.
All right, so here's another look at the backpack up close. This is, hold on, let me show this to you guys. Let me know what you think. I'll go full screen with me. So there's the backpack, right? It looks like up at the top where that red circling is, there does look to be a similar
Logo?
Yeah, similar logo as this Ozark Trail, it's called. And I'm looking at the Ozark Trail backpack. And then when you look at the second photo, you could see the string hanging down that you saw.
Now, are those buckles up on top, Ron? Are they
I'm not-
buckles or is there reflective tape for something for that?
It's like little zips with, it's zippers with little, like little ropey type material coming down from them. And then if you look at the actual picture of him, you could see them two hanging. They're two hanging right there. And there's the logo there. So hold on, I'm going to just stop it because
Good work.
I happen to have this thing stopped here. Let's see, pull it back because he does turn around at one point here. This is good sleuthing work. I love it. Keep it going.
Ed, what height did you put him at? About?
Oh, I didn't. But they're saying if I had to guess right now, about 5'9", 5'10".
Yeah, I was going to say 5'11". Looks about.
There's a picture of Nancy with Tommaso.
Ozark Trail is a Walmart brand, they're saying.
There you go. Another great direction for them to go. What's the local Walmart store? They could put in their computer for the receipts and find out who purchased it, or even online where it was delivered locally, if anything. Yeah. But if you look at the photos, there were some photos out there that I was digging up, and it had actually I thought I saw a mugshot with the son-in-law, and it gave a height on him over there, some kind of weird shot.
Jolene, I sent you a message, a direct text message, if you had any assistance as it pertains to a feed outside of Nancy Guthrie's house. So if you can look at your phone, just check that out and let me know. Zoom with me is saying you're doing great work. Whoever that message is pointed to, I appreciate that. So again, all in caps, J-Beam, look at the doorknob. It's a digital lock with a combination. Look at the video. Yeah, we're looking at the video. We looked at it. She's talking about the Brian Enton video. Let's go back to that because now everybody's comparing. So stand by. I'll get it. I got it right here. Ed, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking this guy is going to get caught real quick.
An arrest is imminent, I believe.
Yeah.
I would bet my pension on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here we go. Oh, here it is. Brian's blood at the home. Get it to the part where he goes up. There we go.
Go back.
I got it. Stop it when it gets up. I see a key lock.
I don't see a. I don't see a. No, I don't see a numeric pad.
Yeah, it looked like a key lock there.
Maybe on the garage door.
So this is where the Nest camera that recorded this perpetrator. This looks like doorknob, obviously, and
deadbolt.
Yeah, this looks like a deadbolt with a key.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something here?
No,
9.
the keypad might be as maybe I don't know if anybody showed the garage door. This is you have to zero in that this was the point of entry, because they're not saying anything was broken in the back. They're not saying the window was broken. Somebody got in here very quiet, because if she is sleeping, you know, they're going to catch her by surprise.
Let's see if there's anything closer. I know he pans up again here.
Here we go.
That's a doorbell.
There's where the nest is.
There's the missing Nest camera. That's the base, right? And there's the doorknob and the deadbolt.
It's a lock. It's a keyed lock.
And don't think they won't be going to find out if keys were made at any certain place.
Absolutely.
You know, just
Emmy says, is there a timestamp on the videos? Yes. There isn't a timestamp available to us, but I'm sure that the tech team over at Nest has it. Hold on. What am I looking at here? Yeah, so that clears up that at that location. Unless there is a keypad at the garage door, as we stated, right?
You know what, Ed? Another thought went through my mind, and this is something I have for you. We know that the sheriff's department screwed up with not securing the area. And then the FBI came in and did their thing. I don't think they're that concerned with what might have been here, there, or any place. I think they have what they need at this point, and they're tying it in with other means. You follow me?
Yeah.
That they don't have to secure certain things. They already know which direction they're going with this. And that's why I agree with you. I think, Ron, your pension check is safe. I think they're going to have an arrest with this. They're going to have this. That's why they're saying they're not listing suspects, right? They're not putting anything out there. All right. They're giving this individual right here, along with anybody else, enough rope to hang themselves.
Yeah. And if this is a conspiracy, okay, that, several people were involved in this, and this is the patsy, that patsy's going to roll.
Yeah.
So, Ed, let's just assume something went wrong.
Yep.
And they're inside the house and they know they're comfortable in that house for 41 minutes. Wouldn't you think that, oh, crap, so-and-so, something went down, she's not doing good. I got to get her out of here. What do we do? This and that. You don't think there was conversation about that? If
Absolutely.
there were more than one? Exactly. So that's why pinging those towers is going to be so important. Mm-hmm. That cell tower over there is going to be.
Well, they took, they did a Celebrite download dump on Nancy's phone and smartwatch. They did it. I believe they also did it over at Nancy's daughter's house. I saw them bring in a Celebrate box in to Nancy's daughter's house. So they're obviously doing some dumps there.
I have video of that. I think we've all seen that video hit of the FBI along with the Pima County sheriffs going over to Annie's house with they actually zoomed in on the Celebrate. You could see the wording on the hard case. Sorry, gentlemen. I just want to say thank you to Tulma for the $10 super chat. And he or she says, with the color stills, the perp looks high percentage that he is Latino to me. Have they said anything about his ethnicity? They have not. And that's, a difficult one to make, especially completely all masked up like that. But you leave that up to the experts, right? We can always think what we want to think. It's great to hear the different ideas, because when it finally comes to fruition and an arrest is made, it's always good to see, hey, this person was pretty on the money about it. Before we wrap it up, I want to ask, I'll do it at the end. I want to ask each one of you guys, the two of you, what you think, perp-wise.
Well, before we get into that, my phone is blowing up here with all these news alerts. So apparently, looks like the FBI and local law enforcement are canvassing Annie's neighborhood.
Is it on Fox or at what news would I go to that?
Well, there's one there. Yeah.
Let me look.
They're going door to door in Annie Guthrie's neighborhood. I mean, this, you would think that would have been done earlier.
But Ed, they probably have something that they're not showing the public that they're going to show local people first.
Yep.
To see if this person was seen walking around. I think they might have a little more about something that they're not sharing, across the nation, but just locally, which is smart.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I'm trying to see if I can pick up some coverage. I'm going to do a search. I want to thank all the new people who are watching. Let us know where you're watching from, city, state, or country. We always like to say hello to our new people. All right, here we go. I got it. NBC LA. Wow. Interesting. Hold on. It's not live, though. All right. Give me 2 seconds.
Hey, just a shout out to Ramona. Inshallah, Ramona. Inshallah.
Trying to see what we can see here, guys. Nope. There's so many people live with it, but I don't want to go into someone's live coverage. I'm trying to find one of the news stations, but I can't find it. Linda, thank you for the super chat. I see a rug in this video, but I don't remember a rug in Brian's video. There was so much coverage here. Here's one of the first searches that they did popping up, but I don't see anything live, and it's hard for me to just drop everything and look at text messages and so forth. A lot of people said that they reached out to me, sharing a video feed, but I don't really see it. Oh, wait a minute. Here's that's from 3 days ago, going door to door. So nothing is live that I could see right now. So Fox 10 Phoenix, let me see what they got. What's happening here? They do have some. No, nothing, guys.
I think I told you this yesterday. One of the reporters from Fox said that Fox wasn't getting any information one-on-one with anybody from the sheriff's department. So don't know what that's all about.
I did see that. That they stopped the communication. I saw a report of that. All right. They're staging at the ground at a church, says LGNE. Thank you for that.
Stacy, the bag is not retired.
Okay. I got to go back to Enton's video to see, because now everyone's saying that there was.
Yeah, half moon shaped man. Could be. I just don't remember seeing it.
The doormat. Yeah,
It would make sense that it was there.
People were complaining that the doormat wasn't collected.
Really?
I'm telling you, Ed, I sit back and I laugh because every time you look at something, I could just see you in that chair just spinning around.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy.
All right. We'll take a view, and we'll trust that there is some type of doormat there. Listen, it's been an hour and 30 minutes. It's a little bit of overtime. Guys, you can put your slips in. I just want to say this. We're going to be following this thing very closely, but I feel, and Ed, I know you feel the same way. Joe, retired Lieutenant Joe Cardinale feels the same way. There's an arrest coming, forthwith. I think it's going to be sooner than later. And this will give us a little bit more clarity, because once an arrest made, they can't really release all the information, because obviously the most important thing is to make this arrest and then have it prosecuted successfully. If they don't get it prosecuted successfully, then the whole thing is wasted. Ed, what are you laughing at?
No, there's certain people out here that I guess they know me because they're saying personal things about that only somebody that knows me would say, and I'm getting a kick out of what they're saying. So,
okay, do you need me to delete anything?
No, nothing inappropriate.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, Joe, I want to thank you to taking out the time. I know you're being pulled and tugged in a lot of different directions, and it's an honor, and I really appreciate that you do take the time to come out with Ed and myself, because your opinions and your take and your professional opinion on things is valuable. So I'll give you the final words as we close it up.
Now, to your audience, keep the good work up. I mean, you guys are doing great out there. You have two guys over here that put their heart and soul into everything they do. They don't just do it now. They did it their whole careers. So they're carrying it out there, and they're doing a lot, and they're passing their knowledge on to you, younger sleuths out there, which I think is great. You know what I have to get you guys? I know whether you noticed, I was wearing the dinosaur shirt yesterday. I have to get you the dinosaur shirt. So you can explain to everybody in the next episode what dinosaurs are on the job, all right? So, but I'm going to get it. But you guys are doing a great job, and I always make time for you. Anytime for you guys.
Thanks, boss.
Yeah, you guys are the best.
All right, guys, on behalf of Crime Time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace and our special guest, Joe Cardinale, we're sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes to the Guthrie family. They're hurting right now, and there's many people in the community that are worried because now you're seeing a video of an armed bad guy, and that is going to create fear for some of the elderly folk and regular everyday people that live in that Tucson area. There's a guy that's out there that took somebody, and we have to now assume that there's no showing of life of Nancy Guthrie, and at this point where we're at, it would be a miracle that she was returned safely. So thank you all. Ed, go ahead. Before you start outright blasting out laughing, I'll give you the last word.
Well, thank you all for spending your time with us here today with our coverage. I know you can get your true crime fix anywhere you like, and it's an honor that you decide to spend it with us. Thanks for your support. And always, folks, it's about the victim here. It's about the victim. It's about education. That's what we do here. We educate, and we give you our experience and our knowledge based upon years of training, experience, and certifications. And so thank you. With that said, always stay safe, stay prepared, and watch your six.
Amen to that, brother. Thank you all. And again, this is Nancy Guthrie. This is what it's all about. Let's hope and pray for a quick resolution to this in the coming days or hours. Peace and love from Crime Time with DutyRon. We'll see you soon.